What if I told you that you might be manipulated right now and you don't even realize it? Manipulation doesn't look evil. It doesn't yell or threaten. It doesn't announce itself. Most of the time, it feels like love. It feels like concern. It feels like someone trying to help you. And that's exactly why it works. Manipulation is psychological control disguised as normal behavior. It's when someone slowly influences your thoughts, emotions, and decisions for their benefit, not yours. The dangerous part is that manipulators rarely look like villains. They look like partners, friends, co-workers, even family members. The first sign you're being manipulated is gaslighting. Gaslighting happens when someone makes you question your own memory or perception. You clearly remember what was said, but they insist it never happened. You confront them about something that hurt you, and they respond with, "You're overreacting," or "That's not what I meant," or worse, "You're imagining things." Over time, something shifts inside you. You start replaying conversations in your head. You begin doubting your own memory. You apologize just to keep the peace, even when you're not sure what you did wrong. When someone successfully makes you question your own reality, you become easier to control because now you rely on their version of the truth instead of your own. The second sign is guilt tripping. This one is subtle but powerful. Whenever you try to set a boundary, they make you feel selfish. If you say no, they respond with disappointment. If you need space, they act hurt. If you prioritize yourself, they accuse you of not caring enough. You start doing things not because you genuinely want to, but because you feel guilty, you feel responsible for their emotions, and that's the trap. In a healthy relationship, boundaries are respected. In a manipulative one, boundaries are punished. Guilt becomes the leash that keeps you compliant. The third sign is constant victimhood. No matter what happens, they are always the victim. If they hurt you, it's because you misunderstood them. If they lie, it's because they were afraid of how you'd react. If they break your trust, somehow it becomes your fault. They rarely take responsibility. Instead, they flip the situation until you're the one apologizing. Over time, you stop confronting them because every conflict turns into a story about how badly they've been treated. This shifts accountability away from them and places it squarely on your shoulders. The fourth sign is gradual isolation. Manipulators rarely demand that you cut people off. Instead, they plant seeds. They might say, "Your friends are a bad influence." They might question your family's intentions. They may subtly criticize anyone who supports you. At first, it sounds protective. It sounds like they just care about you. But slowly, you spend less time with others. Your world becomes smaller. And when they become your main source of validation and support, the influence grows stronger. Isolation creates dependency, and dependency strengthens control. The fifth sign is love bombing. In the beginning, everything feels intense and overwhelming in a good way. They move quickly, they shower you with compliments. They talk about the future as if it's already guaranteed. They tell you that you're different from anyone they've ever met. It feels magical, but intensity is not the same as intimacy. Love bombing creates emotional attachment at high speed. It pulls you in deeply before you have time to think clearly. And once you're emotionally invested, the dynamic often changes. The affection becomes inconsistent, approval becomes conditional, and you find yourself chasing the version of them you met at the start. Manipulation is hard to recognize because it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small steps. A small doubt here, a small compromise there. You adjust, you rationalize, you tell yourself it's not a big deal, until one day you feel disconnected from who you used to be. You might feel anxious more often. You might second guess simple decisions. You might feel like you're walking on eggshell. These aren't random feelings, they're signals. Awareness is the first defense against manipulation. When you start recognizing these patterns, the fog begins to lift. You begin trusting your instincts again. You start understanding that healthy love does not require confusion, fear, or guilt. Real connection feels safe. It respects your boundaries. It allows you to grow without shrinking yourself. If any of these signs felt familiar, don't ignore that feeling. Pay attention to it. Your intuition often sees the truth before your mind is ready to accept it. And remember, anyone who truly cares about you will never need to control you to keep you